Democrats may close the government to prevent Trump from getting rid of it. Written by Ed Kelgour, a political column writer for Intelligence since 2015. Hello viewers, welcome to Unboxing America. If you receive new information, please subscribe and click on the notification bell. Democrats, like Patti Murray, study a more radical position on a possible government closure. Photo, Anna Moneymaker / Getty Images. You can place the entire shock and awe agenda of Trump 2.0 in the right-wing policies in two baskets. There are things Donald Trump clearly with the power to carry out, for example, the customs tariff and policies set by the executive Biden orders, or the Congress-controlled Congress can do through the upcoming draft reconciliation law or laws that Democrats cannot stop. Then there are Trump's things and depends on Trump, which depends on strange and dangerous theories of the imperialist presidential powers that Richard Nixon could have dreamed of only possessing. This includes the administration and budget office, federal finance freezing, and a guerrilla war campaign that Elon Musk and his obsessed legion as a physical control over suffocation points of government operations. It is clear that the Democrats cannot do anything about these executive procedures, unlike reference, crying and encouraging courts to intervene. But there is a steady possibility that the Trump attack will go far, and so far that the Democrats in Congress tend mainly to strike when it comes to the actions they already have some influence. These include the upcoming efforts to maintain the federal government working when the stopgap agency is running out in December 14th. Democrats may have to provide some support to increase the fat that Trump demanded, which will need to happen by late spring. Republicans can include this in reconciliation legislation in the party budget, but the extreme hostility of the House of Representatives Council makes this unlikely. Will the government party really lead to the defense of the government by threatening to calm or even risk the debt? There is already talk about intense measures, as Senator Patti Murray told Bangwell News. Democrats, as always, are obligated to fund the government responsibly, but it is extremely difficult to reach an agreement on higher lines, much lower spending bills when the president illegally blocks wide pieces of approved funding, when he tries to reduce one side of the critical agencies, and when the non-elected billionaire is enabled to force it on its way to the central payment system and very sensitive in the Treasury. Democrats and Republicans alike should be able to trust that when a deal is signed, it will be followed. One of the Democratic employees starkly put in the same story, "We can reach a turning point where cooperation between the two parties becomes negative for us." Therefore, the emerging idea for Democrats in Congress may be to insist that before providing one vote by Republicans, Elon Musk and Russell, OMB manager candidate on a large scale behind freezing financing, must be placed on the steering wheel. It is possible that by doing this, they can be enabled people within management who feel terror or threatened by the vast seizure of the authority represented by Musk Doge operation and Vogue aspirations to make OMB the fully powerful, central nervous system in the entire federal budget. They will be compatible with populism, which is the intense austerity scales for annoying waste from the province before Trump. Republicans in Congress, despite their silence about or collusion in the poor Schneegen, have some concerns about making them unnecessary in terms of spending decisions and politics priorities. The Democratic fixed line in any deal of Republican credits may generally put in a link, if only because the financial applicants in the House of Representatives are already colliding with their demands for cuts in the deep budget to secure their own voices, as Politico said. Republican leaders in the House of Representatives want the committees to drop the deepest spending cuts on the party's law draft of the agenda of President Donald Trump's local agenda, as they are scrambling to address the rebellion from the main budget members who believe the initial plan of President Mike Johnson is short. The main centers and others in the budget board are pressing to determine at least $1 trillion in spending discounts in the plan that the committee is supposed to discuss this week, according to three people familiar with special discussions who were granted not to disclose their identity to describe them. At least, the Democrats in Congress need to clarify them immediately that they will use their influence, even if it means closing the government. But at some point, they need to determine whether they will use this leverage to secure concessions on the details of spending levels, or instead, they have to attack the illegal expansions of the executive authorities. Some Democrats may tend to allow the courts of the police of the type of wild behavior associated with the Doge and the gambling that the Supreme Court in the United States will put on the aspirations of vaught to unlimited presidential power for evaluation on the dollars allocated by Congress as a kind of personal embodiment of popular or divine will. But if the chaotic events last week were just appetizers for the coming appetizers, the Democrats may conclude that working as an opposition party requires putting themselves on the road to Trump 2.0 and screaming, "Stop." Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to receive more information.